Well, good afternoon. Mark Milam here, your mortgage professional with Highland Mortgage, coming to you this Friday, April the 30th, with this week's interest rate summary and market update. Well, as surprised as we were to see interest rates tick up at the early part of this year, we're as equally surprised to see what interest rates are doing now that spring is in full session. So we anticipated that inflation numbers would continue to rise. They have. They've done exactly what we thought they would do, and bonds hate inflation. Mortgages are simply long-term bonds. So we anticipated negative trending for bonds as we move through April on into May. That has really not been what's happened. Let's take a quick look at what's happening with mortgage-backed securities. These are the financial instrument upon which fixed rates are based. Green days are good days. The value of the securities going up. The associated interest rate is going down. Red days are bad days. And if we go back and we take a look at the prior 3 months, boy, you could see what a bloodbath it was in February and March. We just lost a lot of pricing power. All those red days means rates were going up substantially. And we anticipated more of the same as we got into April. But April turned out to be a pretty kind month. You can see a lot more green in there than red. And if we look at the 1 month look back, you can see it's been a really, really positive trend. We had a little bit of negative news to start the week, but we finished on a strong note. The Fed met midweek, and the Fed's strong support for their continued purchasing of mortgage-backed securities and treasuries really helped to stabilize the market. There was no indication whatsoever that the Fed is planning on tapering their purchases anytime soon, and that demand that the Fed is creating for these treasuries and mortgage-backed securities is good news for mortgage interest rates. So we're getting back down to some really fine levels, especially for purchase transactions. Purchase transactions price out a little bit better than refinance transactions thanks to that Federal Housing Finance Agency adverse market fee that's only imposed on refinances, sort of an inexplicable charge penalty towards refinances. But as such, we're seeing purchase rates really, really good. We're seeing purchase rates down in the high twos if you're on a 30-year fixed, the low twos if you're to a 15 or a 10-year fixed, and ARM pricing really strong as well. Let's talk some more about what's happening in the actual housing market. So the Case-Shiller Home Price Index reflecting the biggest gains that they've seen in 15 years. Home prices nationally in February rose 12% year over year. No surprise to anyone who's seen what's happening with inventory. The 10-city composite index 11.7, 20-city composite 11.9, basically just averaging out to 12% per year. Now that's February. If we look at Housing Wire talking about the end of April, 4-week period ending April 18th, seeing housing prices up 18%. So the trend towards rapid appreciation, all of this sort of centered around low inventory, is continuing and actually accelerating as we move further and further into spring. What's going to slow this down or stop this? Boy, that's a really tough question to answer. The prevailing thought is what's going to help this inventory picture is the exact same thing that's going to help stabilize the country and get the economy restarted, which is the vaccination program. The more citizens that get vaccinated, the more we can return back to normal. Those folks who have gone from making their house their bunker and their castle, that are going to be willing to get out, move, purchase, sell their home, take that new job in a new city, or begin traveling, or decide that they're comfortable buying that move-up house. All of that stuff is going to loosen the grip on inventory. Hasn't happened yet, but we anticipate that to happen as the year progresses and we move into Q3 and Q4 of 2021. Hope you have a great weekend. If I can be of any assistance to you, please don't hesitate to reach out. Mark.Milam@highlandmtg.com, 404-395-1102. Have a good weekend.